sky's the limit. I'm so high, I'm diving in it. My ride's is tinted.
And Al Horford really has become one of those elite two-way big men. And that's very rare. You look at most bigs in the NBA, they excel at either one end or the other, but this is one of those guys that does it all.
Teague and Korver are the guards. Splitter is out there with Horford, and it's Millsap in at the 3 spot. So that's the lineup for Atlanta. At this break, let's show you the teams that led the league in assists last year. The Hawks second.
I tell you what, if you had to pick one stat, at least on the offensive side of the ball, that benefits your team, this is it. I mean, when you're amongst the league leaders in assists, you're doing a lot of good things. Not just making shots, but you're moving your teammates and you're moving the basketball.
All right now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
He misses the free throw. And Horford at 6'10", a natural power forward who's been pressed into duty at the center spot, but he holds his own on the low block.
He also does a really good job, Kevin, moving his feet and covering in space, covering the pick and roll. He's outstanding in that regard, which is important in today's game. He's got mobility and a high IQ.
Now here's Korver. Out to the right wing. Horford goes in. That's good. And so Teague with the assist. And that's 13 points for Horford.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
Pistons trail by 10. Jackson dishes to Ilyasova. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a 3-point play.
They're doing work here in the second half. 3 or 4 to start. And guys, how about Ilyasova last season shooting the basketball? Always a decent threat to score. His improvements in efficiency were amazing. He increased his field goal accuracy from 41 to 47% in only 1 year.
Now here's Korver. Dishes to Millsap. At the elbow, Horford. Just 4 to shoot. Here's Teague. Kept alive by Atlanta. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
Horford having just a fantastic game. He has 9 rebounds and a block.
And we were talking about Ilyasova. There's a reason his field goal percentage went up last season. It wasn't necessarily better shooting. It was probably better shot selection.
And I think the scheme played to his strengths. Lots of ball movement, penetration, kicking out to open spot-up shooters. Ersan showed us that's his kind of game.
Both shots good from the stripe.
And Al Horford is just a winner, guys. I mean, win 2 NCAA titles at his time playing for Florida. His teammates call him the Godfather because of how calm and quiet he is in terms of his leadership and the mentoring he provides. It's been the same here in the NBA.
Good D by Drummond.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be because he is so strong in the paint.
And it's blocked.
It's been a real difficult game for him offensively, and it's costly.
Now here's Teague. 10-point lead. This is their biggest. From 13, and that one goes long. Team with Horford, Noah, and Corey Brewer, such a tight-knit group. All those guys still competing and defending at a very high level now in the NBA.
Each of those guys very team first in their approach. That's what they're about, winning. And because they've experienced championship winning, they stay locked in to that task.
Now here's Horford. He's got 15, and it's good.
And the jump shot has been a dimension of this game where they've had a clear advantage.
Greg, they keep pulling up and watching them go down. It's a really nice thing to see.
Here is Ilyasova. Caldwell Pope kicks to Jackson. Caldwell Pope passes to Drummond. An easy layup after coming off the pick. Drummond's got his second bucket.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Now here's Millsap. 8 points for him. Splitter sets a screen. T dishes to Millsap. Again, Millsap missing.
Just not there from a rhythm standpoint right now. It's really eluding him.
Right side Jackson. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot two. Reggie Jackson had made some noise about wanting a big contract to be moved last year. Ultimately, he was traded to Detroit.
Yep, Kevin traded from the Thunder to the Pistons, and it actually happened on deadline day.
And if you go back, remember Jackson struggled with the Pistons last year as well. The team went on a losing streak as soon as he got there. And Jackson will look for a fresh start this season. I mean, hard to play with all the drama and questions going in your head about pending free agency.
Kent Bazemore's checked in for Atlanta. And so Jackson nails both of them.
And for Reggie Jackson, the league is going the right way in terms of his skill set. Everyone loves the guard who can shoot well enough to bust the zone as well as make plays for others and at the rim. And Jackson is that guy.
Now here's Teague. He's got 15. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Teague's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Haven't we seen that a few times today, guys? I mean, their defense has got to have a little bit more toughness about it.
And back to Jackson. He really took on the playmaker role after being traded to the Pistons. As a Detroit player, he averaged over 9 assists a game, Clark, which would have put him 4th overall in the league had it been for a full campaign.
Loved his aggressiveness, which led to opportunities for his teammates, but it also led to turnovers. That part of his game he's got to tighten up.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case. It looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant. And this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
So it's Atlanta now, following the bucket by the Pistons. Here's Bazemore, and the layup's good off the glass. And the Hawks lead by 10.
And the interior D is really starting to be exposed here. How many layups have they gotten today?
Jackson kicks to Ilyasova. Johnson, the pass to Jackson. Drummond working against Horford. And Drummond kicks to Ilyasova. And that one's good. Drummond's got 6 points.
And that's got to happen if they want to have a chance to turn this thing around. I mean, he needs to just take the game over. I mean, it seems like he's been hesitant to pull the trigger.
Teague drives in, up off the screen. And Horford with the lay-in.
As hot as he's been this quarter, the game plan is simple, folks. Get him the ball and get out of the way.
Here's Jackson. He dishes it to Caldwell Pope. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time. Jackson's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. The Hawks leading by 7. Now Teague. 17 points in the game. He kicks it to Millsap. Shoots it. And misses it off the right side of the rim.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
Here's Jackson, and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two. That one on Horford. Drummond, a bit of a disappointing season last year. Not so much in play, but people wanted to see a bigger leap from him. Now, his numbers are still pretty jaw-dropping. But I think he's got so much there to give.
He has a lot of potential, Kevin. And listen, I don't think his play was bad. He just had such huge expectations to live up to. I mean, player development is not a straight line, and it would have been very hard to have him take another huge leap forward. Sometimes you have that sophomore jinx, but I'm expecting a big year from him this season.
Thabo Sefolosha has checked in for Atlanta. Dennis Schroeder comes in for Jeff Teague. Then for the Pistons, Aaron Baines is checked in for Drummond. Marcus Morris comes in for Ilyasova. And it's Jody Meeks in for Johnson.
You know, for Drummond last season, his numbers were relatively the same. The expectations placed on him were so hard for him to live up to. Maybe now those will be tempered a bit and he'll play better.
Now, here's Meeks following the miss by Al Horford. Stolen. Here's Bazemore. Pass to Schroeder. Picked by Horford. And that one's good. Schroeder's got 7 points.
And another thought on Drummond, a lot more was expected of him last year, and he saw more attention. Even though his numbers were close to the same, I really felt his impact on the floor was not.
It's out of bounds. The Pistons able to retain possession here. Hardaway Jr. checked in for Kent Bazemore. And Detroit with a change here, too. Jennings is checked in. Pass to Morris. And Baines kicks to Meeks. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Jennings. He trains it as the shot clock ticks down. He's got 9.
And how about the bounce pass there being used to perfection?
Now the pass to Hardaway. Picked by Horford. Outside Hardaway. Rebound by the Pistons. And here's Jennings. 9 points in the game so far. The feed now to Baines. Sefolosha with the steal. Oh, and a fast break for Atlanta. Here's Hardaway.
Well, that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, nice job there, Greg. Recognizing the opportunity was there to push it, and then excellent execution.
That Kia Slam Cam replay really gave you a good look at the action. Here's Meeks following the bucket by the Hawks. And Baines kicks to Meeks. And it comes off the front of the rim.
I think he was surprised by how much space he had there and just rushed the shot a little bit.
Schroeder with the ball. And Jennings picks him up defensively. Horford with a screen on Jennings. Schroeder kicks to Horford. Now, here's Meeks. Guarded by Hardaway. And the shot is good. Caldwell Pope's got 7 now in this quarter.
He is pouring it on in the second half, guys. I mean, a much better showing than he had before the break.
Now, here's Schroeder. He's guarded closely. Lets a floater go. The shot no good. Good work defensively by Morris. Feeds to Jennings. Back to Morris. Pistons passing it around. Here's Caldwell Pope. And Baines kicks to Meeks. No good on the triple.
And there have been some terrible shot choices here, Kev. That's not a good look at all.
Outside Millsap. It's good from long range. Millsap's got 11 points.
A good look there, and he didn't waste it. His second 3 of the game.
Jennings drives in. Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. Here's Caldwell Pope. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back.
He's starting to feel it. He's in a groove here in the second half.
The Hawks leading by 6. Schroeder up top. He's guarded by Jennings. Schroeder up top. 7 points in the game. And that one's good. Schroeder's got 4 points in the quarter.
Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low, and I really thought he would be.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation, but boy, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
And that's going to do it for the third quarter. Hawks ahead. They're up by 8. 2K Sports back in a moment here at Phillips Arena in Atlanta. Well, welcome back as we get set to start the fourth. Pistons trail by 8. All right, now a chance to set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. Fourth quarter action, all fueled up and ready to go. On the floor for Detroit, Jackson is out there with Jody Meeks. Then there's Andre Drummond. Then it's Aaron Baines. And it's Morris in at the small forward.
He had a couple in the first, but so far he's been unable to get uncorked here.
Horford's it to Bazemore. Passes it to Splitter. Can't get it to go. Now the Pistons take it the other way. Looking ahead, they've got the Jazz coming into town for the next game. And that's the first game in a string of 3 straight at home. Morris kicks to Jackson. 6 on the shot clock.
Major league big boy throwdown right there.
And he keeps a tight grip on that rim after the finish.
Yeah, and maybe that'll give them a little bit of that swagger that they seem to have lost.
Jackson against T. Kicks it to Bazemore. It's Splitter atop the key. Korver dishes to Horford. From downtown, and there's Korver on the assist by Splitter. That's 7 points in the game for Kyle Korver. Jackson down low. T covering. Jackson misses. The Hawks leading by 9. Just over a minute and a half played here in the fourth. And Baines kicks to Meeks, and he gets the bucket.
Man, can you always depend on him or what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money.
And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Teague.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
Johnson, he's checked in for Aaron Baines. Pistons trail by 7. Jackson kicks to Johnson. Morris passes to Drummond. It's deflected. And for the Hawks, they're shooting 48% from the field. Not bad at all. Horford against Drummond. And it's Korver off the drive. He makes his 9th shot of the game. He has only missed 4. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Hawks.
You know, block shots, guys, a clear indicator on the stat sheet of their excellent defense. I mean, leaving them no room to get off any shots.
Yeah, but also, they haven't missed a beat in terms of their fast break game. That's been equally as effective all night long.
There's the dish to Horford. Rebound by the Pistons. Morris has got his 4th rebound in this one. And Splitter pulls it down. Splitter's got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Terrific assist, a nice finish. Solid play all around.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they've built this lead for themselves here.
Jackson up top, T covering. It's stolen by T. Johnson with the block. But they get it back. Bazemore for 3. Rebound Andre Drummond. Pistons trail by 11. And we're about 3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter. Here's Morris. Jackson dishes to Meeks. Back to Jackson. Drummond a screen. 6 to shoot. Meeks can't hit.
And no excuse there for missing that one after being freed up by a great pick.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they came away empty, but they got the look they wanted, and really, I like the movement and communication there.
Ilyasova, he's checked in for Detroit.
And really, last season was one of improvement for the Pistons. They were able to shoot the ball better and better as the season wore on. Overall, they cut out the little mistakes that had bothered them back in 14.
Deflects the pass, and stolen by Splitter. Plays it in off the breakaway. And the Hawks lead by 16.
Really not hard to see why they're giving up points on this run. I mean, they've just given them too many looks inside.
Yeah, and usually when a team goes on a run like this, it's because they are getting too many opportunities on the inside. Make them beat you from deep.
Here's Atlanta now. They're on a 12-4 run. Outside Teague. Pass to Horford. The shot is off. Good D by Drummond. Pistons trail by 14. Johnson kicks to Jackson. And no good. Trying to use the glass.
That's a huge part of what they want to do defensively. Limit his easy chances inside.
It's stolen by Johnson. And now the fast break. Meeks with the ball. Teague with the ball. He feeds it to Horford. Korver kicks to Horford. Teague inside the line, and he hits the jump shot. Teague's got 5 points in the quarter.
That's been their bread and butter in the second half. They've really knocked down their long-range shots.
And as hot as they are, no need to play conservative. Keep firing away.
20 feet out, and it's good off the back of the rim and in. 15 points for Reggie Jackson.
Well, he certainly isn't the one to blame for them being in the hole. He's been on the money with his game.
Horford sets a screen for Korver. Teague against Jackson. 5 on the clock. And Teague, here we go. A putback, and it's slammed in by Splitter.
They've done a great job of getting into the middle of that defense and scoring in the paint.
And that's why they're on this run. You get that close to the hoop, and it's a lot easier to make shots.
And Ilyasova kicks to Johnson. That 3 off the mark. The Hawks leading by 16. Hit his foot. And the refs whistling a kick ball. Paul Millsap is checked in for the Hawks. And Detroit with a change here, too. Caldwell Pope, he's checked in for Jody Meeks. Millsap a screen. Korver kicks to Teague. Here's Millsap. Rebound, Detroit.
You know, they don't score on that shot, but they're going to be happy with those kinds of possessions.
Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure. Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assists.
Stolen by Jackson. For the finish. Rips down the breakaway slam.
Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
Jackson against Teague. Horford with a screen on Jackson. Here's Korver for 3. Ilyasova comes up with the rebound. Ilyasova's got his 7th rebound here tonight. Here's Caldwell Pope. The shot misses. So Atlanta will take it the other way. At one point, they led by 16. Teague kicks to Horford. Outside Teague. Splitter sets a screen. Korver gets a wide open look. They get the rebound and the dunk by Horford. And the Hawks lead by 14.
That's how to make your mark on the boards, with an emphatic finish.
Oh, Clark, he was savage on that second opportunity.
And really, those types of possessions, guys, can be really demoralizing for the defense.
Now here's Jackson. To the wing on the left. Caldwell Pope kicks to Jackson. Add basket number 6 to his stat sheet. He's now 6 for 10.
Boy, I tell you what, he's having one of those days where if he takes it, he makes it.
Teague against Jackson. Horford sets a screen for Teague. That's a 2 from Korver. Korver missing again.
And that's the shot he has to take.
Exactly. That's the right look. The decision was good. He just didn't execute.
That shot by Caldwell Pope, no good.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
Jackson against Teague. The drive by Jackson. Slides through for his 7th basket in 11 tries.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Yes, guys. Mike Budenholzer had some words for his team. He wanted his guys to keep up the intensity, saying, if any of you think this game is over, you're wrong. We've got work to do. I don't want to see any letdown on the defensive end of the floor. Guys, let's watch how it plays out.
Thanks a lot, Doris. Outside Korver. This is the Splitter. 4 on the shot clock. Here's Schroeder. Rejected by Jennings. And he gets it back. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. And the Pistons making a change here. Jackson's checked in. Pass to Caldwell Pope. He dishes it to Jackson. He kicks it to Caldwell Pope. Ilyasova passes to Drummond. Here's Johnson. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Yeah, high percentage shots are what they are getting in terms of the attempts, and that's just not going to get it done. They've got to figure it out.
And stolen by Drummond. Pass break Detroit. Jackson's got the ball.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal, and then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And, Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there.
The Hawks leading by 11. Here's Schroeder. The dish to Millsap. With nobody on him, he buries the jumper.
His eyes were wide open there, guys. Excellent vision to see they had an open shot outside and get it there.
Outside Jackson. Drummond dishes to Johnson. Misses from short range.
Yeah, and that's been the story of the game. I mean, the rebounding has been very one-sided.
Yeah, and they've been on the winning end. I mean, effort is one thing you can always control in addition to attitude. I would credit this lead to force of will.
Splitter sets a screen, and here's Korver from the arc. Second chance shot. Horford with the bucket, getting it done inside. Horford's got 16 points here in the second half.
And guys, what we saw here tonight is one side having everything going for them. Huge margin of victory for Atlanta.
I agree, Steve, and this is a game where the defense, Clark Steele specifically, generating a lot of opportunities.
And it created extra possessions for him too, Kevin. Scoring opportunities they cashed in on, and that effort, a big part of what will be a nice victory tonight.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And against a conference opponent, always good to take that first win of the season series. to establish a psychological edge.
Especially because they're going to get together 3 more times this season, Greg. You love to get an opponent figured out early when you're going to be seeing them that often.
And so many key players that you could point to tonight, but in particular, a great game for Al Horford. There wasn't much they could do to slow him down as he was converting every good chance he got.
They get it back. And so it's the Hawks taking care of business in this one. Some good competition, but the hometown advantage and their ability to stay focused, I think, Clark, made the difference.
Well, you know, at this stage, you've got to defend your home floor, and they did that.
And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Well, Paul, congratulations on this win. It seemed like this game was getting away from you at points. What does the team take away from this game in terms of experience?
You know, we got to do a better job of executing down the stretch. You know, as simple as that. Just glad we got this win. We just can't let these things happen in the future.
An escape from some mistakes, Paul. Well done, guys.
Doris, thank you as always. That concludes the first game of the NBA season. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. And as the fans file out of the building, now time to head over to Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith for the postgame show.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Hey y'all, Ernie Johnson here along with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome back for the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Al Horford. He came out of the locker room at halftime and was immediately on fire. That third quarter was his, and he did not hesitate to exert his will.
The job he did down low was fantastic. That's right, fantastic. He had great understanding of the way the defense was set up in the paint. He had a ton of high percentage looks close to the bucket and converted every time. Nice game, real nice game.
Yeah, Al Horford put in some serious work bringing home this win tonight. He's always been the definition of a great two-way player, and when you've got a big man who's that versatile, it's a huge boost for your ball club.
And that's it for our broadcast here tonight, but we're just getting started on a new season in the NBA. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. We'll see you again soon.